I'm just a little bit worried for Entity that they aren't going to be able to break down the map. And against Tundra, if you can't break down the map, they always find their farm and get tanky. And like Kezu mentioned, Tundra's heroes, if they get given 20 minutes of freedom, they will just be this unkillable unit that you need to like outplay on macro. You know, it's like you drag a hero over here, then you kill this hero over there. And you're still yet to find that. And Tundra ban out Faceless Void, I think that would have been a nice answer. You flex the Nature's Prophet away, some Cataclysm down the line. That would have been the damage. And they still need that same type of carry here.
I don't think they've played offlane Nature's Prophet before. I do like that Tundra are banning carries. Because I think that was...
They haven't played it before.
Yeah, that should be what Entity has to do. But I also haven't seen Entity flex Natures to the offlane a single time. So maybe that's a bit of a... This might be a spot that Entity isn't enjoying too much right now.
I'm hoping that maybe just a little bit of a break. Maybe after going to the Major, that's something they worked on for themselves.
Yeah, like Tundra.
Yeah, I was going to say, Tundra weren't even Nature Prophet pickers at all. So I do hope there is a page taken out of some other international teams' books and Entity are comfortable to flex it there.
The opposite would be they just go some like... Actually, I think Dark's is too weak, actually, what we're saying. There's no real illusion. I'm just thinking of like Toby heroes and like trying to make the game feel a bit high-paced. And okay, they go Visage. Like, I just wanted to see them pick a hero that's one, comfort for them, and two, they get to play around. So when they hit this, like, Invokers hit one tower, they then look to the offlane. It's like, okay, he now has a timing at like minute 11 or 12. Let's go join him now. So Visage does enable that. And yeah, what carries are available? So Naga's banned out. The aggressive ones are banned out by Entity in last phase.
No Slark, no Chaos Knight, Fiskita.
Alchemist.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like there's a couple heroes banned out that I would want, like some CK. I feel like if you have another hero that has decent scaling, decent tankiness just like the rest, and you can go in with your DK and with your DP, I feel like it's just at some point going to be too much. But I don't know. Yeah, I'll just throw out Alchemist. Not too confident in it, but I feel like they should feel pretty okay with most of the carries that they're going to end up with here.
Yeah, I don't think there's a carry right now where I'm like, ooh, that'd be terrible. Just because Tundra have so many ways to be annoying with their other heroes that you can buy time. And sure, they go for a Spectre. Spectre picks always have that underlying factor of, if I lose so much map, then there really isn't the next step, right? So Entity, at least with this draft, they will be happy in the fact that if they can set the motions in play where they take this mid tower for free, and then they go to bot lane, and then they force the overlap of farm between DK and Spectre, then you never get to see this like Ags Manta timing, because he's always just stealing Spectre's farm and stuff. So honestly, I think Entity with this style of play can do it, but once again, these two teams, it's going to be a drawn-out game. This is not going to be a clean sweep in any way.
Okay. And for you, Kezu, do you see maybe this void in Entity's lineup either being capitalized or fixed now? Like, where do you sit with that one?
I do think that Spectre later in the game is going to do pretty well, but it's a very slow hero early, so it allows Entity to maybe get the ball rolling, which they have to do. But yeah, I do still prefer Tundra's draft by a little bit.
Only just slightly. I mean, that might be just enough to get them the win here in game number 1, but we're just going to jump straight on into it and over to our casters. It's Odie, Pixel, and Fogged.
Thank you very much, Nat. Yes, Tundra versus Entity. Fogged, we've had the drafts. Last pick, Spectre coming out from Tundra. And Entity, they closed up with the Toby Visage. What do you make of it all?
Fast-paced draft, a lot of aggression coming out really from most of the game. I think like 9 of the heroes you can see it's going to be really fast-paced aggression. Of course, Spectre is going to take some time, but I think we're in for a pretty fun one. It should be pretty battle-heavy.
Okay.
I think Entity, they're going to be looking to set some pace versus the Spectre, take early towers with their... I mean, the Visage familiars. We're going to probably see Stormstormer do Exort, even though it's a pretty decent Quas Wex game. So they'll have tons of summons to be able to take early towers, put that tempo. But Tundra has pretty decent ways to kind of match that. Their first 4 heroes can fight, be very active early on. So should be, I hope, a very kill-hungry game.
Hopefully. Yeah, who's to know? I mean, you feel that overall these two teams, kind of outside of the draft, the way that we see these two teams win their games, like to play their games, how do you think it's going to clash when we get them going head-to-head?
Who knows, right? Because like both of these teams really like to build the lead, right? They like to have like this big net worth advantage before they really push the limits.
Get a few Roshans.
Yeah, I don't know. Could be interesting.
Looking forward to this one. I mean, yeah, it really could go either way, and you feel like, as you say, with the draft, I think what the panel was saying as well, that there's strengths around. Nothing feels kind of out of place.
No. Yeah, I would give like that slight, maybe I guess like that slight advantage to the Spectre if the game gets to those later stages, but I think Entity, they have a pretty good lineup to dictate pace. My only concern for them really is the slight lack of frontline in a way. You have this Visage who's your frontliner. Besides that, Invoker and Nature's Prophet, You know, your Tiny's not really going to be acting as that frontliner from the support, so that's the one thing that they could run into some problems with.
Let's see if indeed Tiny's able to do enough.
Yep, been looking...
Being the lad to go in first. We'll see what Katomi can do in those mid-game fights.
Yeah, looking right off the bat, of course, as we said, it's Stormstormer. So 99.99% of games, it's just straight up Exort. Doesn't matter what else he's going to be playing. He is going to be going down that Midas route this game, it looks like. All right. Could be a bit of a greedy lineup then coming out from Entity if they do go down that route entirely, but they have ways to pressure early with Watson playing that Nature's Prophet. Snaking did the Boots thing, I believe. Yeah, he did. So this game, Boots ran out, got the wards out very quick to make sure that he can secure the bottom lane for his Spectre, and then just kind of standard items from there. The one lack of standard items, though, I guess because of the nerf, right? We saw the Mango nerf in the last patch where...
Well, 0.6 to 0.4?
Yeah, Skeeter was playing with, what, like 8 mangoes in a lot of these games when he was playing something like Spectre?
Yeah, you're not
diverted.
I was going to say, you're just not doing that anymore.
No.
It's quite... especially, how many mangoes would you be buying? You would buy...
What was it, like 6 or 5 or 6 or something?
5 or 6.
It was like
6. So
yeah.
Nowadays, that's 1.2 HP regen less, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, if you do some of the maths.
Maybe he'll buy a couple, maybe something like that, just to have mana to be able to contest.
They're just not what they were.
They're just not worth it.
They're not what they once were, mangoes, unfortunately.
And let's see how... I'm going to be looking at mid matchup quite a lot. This can be a bit of a tough one for the Invoker for the first few levels. Just that animation.
CS.
Yeah, DK just breathe fires and just stands there and has a base damage advantage.
No, let's have a look. See, indeed, if Nine's able to get a bit of an edge against Storm the first few waves.
He should.
Definitely, yeah. Well, one of the reasons why Nine wants to be playing the DK this game.
Sunstrike. Ooh, gets it.
Easy. This man's played a lot of Invoker.
Yeah, you saw, right? It was 3,000 games just on his main account. God knows how many he has on the Smurf.
Out of 3? Is it actually, was that the number?
I think 3,300 or something on his main. He has an absurd amount of games.
Oh my goodness. More top lane.
That's in.
Ooh.
It's the Fairy Fire.
He's going to have to step away from this. Good harassment there from Tundra. That first bit of a push between Saxtra and 33.
It's a strong lane between the Death Prophet and the Earthshaker. Usually Earthshaker, not one of those heroes that you would think of when it's as a strong lane, but when you have these type of ranged heroes that can actually push the limits, it's quite good. And he is playing versus Rubik, which can sometimes be a little bit weaker to pressure something like a DP. And if they get triple range creep, they're getting some nice damage here.
See if Watson can get all the CS. Yeah, he can.
He sure can.
Yeah, he's going to get every single one. Oh, no!
Ooh, you jinxed him.
One. I did indeed. Didn't quite get that last one. 2 out of the 3 range creeps. It's all good.
Stupid little treant.
Yeah.
And mid, Stormstormer. Now he's got level 3. Can start to hold his own. I mean, he's actually just going to do... I mean, he's so experienced on it, so even though the DK, as we said, maybe has a little bit of an edge on the early, Stormstormer, he knows exactly how to play versus the quick gloves. He's going to get these last hits.
For sure. He's played against his fair share of DKs in the mids that have been picked against him, I'm sure, when he's on his Invoker.
Bottom Katomi, a bit low. How's the regen looking down bottom? Okay, they just got more tangos delivered. Definitely don't want to have... I mean, bottom lane should be Entity, kind of trying to play the pressure. They should not lose anybody down here. If they lose some heroes to Spectre, definitely some concern.
In terms of side lanes, it's just a bit of a slower start for Toby on the Visage bottom. He's getting a few denies in.
Tommy.
Snake is going to have another leap at the ready. That's first blood, so definitely this bottom lane, the area it's going to be a bit of a slower start for Entity.
He was still level 1 on the Tiny. That is... I mean, he's been playing out of the lane a little bit there to give Toby experience. It seems Toby's level 3. Hopefully costs it for him. He has nothing to protect himself versus snaking.
He'll get a bit, of course, split from this wave, pushing in under the tower. Katom will get himself at least up to level 2.
I just keep looking at mid because it's so contested. Every single one of these CS, it's so close. Stormstormer does miss one under tower there.
Yeah, well, we're seeing Nine getting a bit of an edge now.
He's using the stun a little bit there to make sure he can get some extra denies under tower. I believe he got 2 of the ranged up top.
This is going to try with some of the body blocking. The Treants. It's pretty good. It's forcing 33 to use another sub.
These are some crazy blocks.
Yeah, very nicely done. I mean, it forces 33 to have to use the TP. And yeah, straight back to base. So a bit of time with 33 out the lane. Some nice play there from Watson.
That was beautiful. He literally trapped him. That was gorgeous. Saksa continues to do some type of pulls up top to make sure that they can put the lane in a better spot. Yeah, forcing the DP back. That's pretty huge.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Bottom lane.
They're not really able to apply any pressure.
I think Skeeter's going to be feeling pretty happy.
Yeah.
With how much he's been able to get from these waves.
Snaking just giving him all the tangos to eat. He's got those extra branches he can eat as well too. Raindrop, super valuable when you're playing versus Visage and Tiny in lane. Yeah, it looks like it is going to be that very good farm for Skeeter this game. And 9, I like that he does this very early on, just buys treads. No bracers, doesn't need it versus the Invoker. He just wants to have that extra bit to be able to last it and just dominate the lane CS, which he kind of is doing right now. 28-10 to 19-5, very significant. He's going to get 6 at quite a faster pace than Stormstormer. 6 doesn't really matter on Invoker anyway, but the 6 on the DK matters a lot. You can start actually being the one to pressure this lane, where a lot of heroes do start to struggle a little bit versus Invoker when he gets those levels in the Forge Spirit.
Oh, we're very much in down bottom. Katomi still, really struggles to trade with Snaking in this Tiny versus Mirana.
0 armor.
The combo now. Snaking. And actually turned to get another hit and maybe set up for Skeeter to get in to chase down Katomi, but no, Skeeter doesn't want to go for it.
He's baiting him. There's 9 stick and a Fairy Fire on Katomi.
That's true. So back to the wave he goes.
Yeah, I think Snaking made the executive call instead of trying to survive with some leaps. He's so low. Just heal, right? Bring back some tangos, keep the Spectre healthy. Spectre's still free farming, so not a big deal if the Mirana does die too much down here. Toby, now getting gone on the dagger. They've got the Starstorm.
And stick charges, they won't save him. I mean, I guess it just sort of, as you were saying, just like that, right? Snaking refuels, and then straight back, sure, he dies, but as soon as he's back to the lane, he's able to set up a takedown onto the enemy offlaner.
Yeah, it was kind of like this pretty valuable death there, really, from Snay.
And it's going to be, I mean, so far in terms of kind of the other whatever, Toby still isn't having as rough as the start as 33. Now, on the other side of the map, 33 definitely being pressured pretty heavily by Fishman and Watson. I mean, we're seeing, consistently with the treants causing issues. Back down bottom, Snaking, he'll go down again, see if it's going to be enough to set up for a kill in return. It's not. Skeeter can't push forward for Katomi.
That's a nice kill.
So yeah, this time around, nothing's going to happen off the back of him returning because the lane's being held in a good place. Toby's going to be able to find under the tower. Back up top, 33 will actually be able to take down Fishman. A nice kill from considering the slow start that he's having as the Death Prophet this game.
Good rotation. Saksa, he was looking to play around mid for a second, then just opts to just go straight top afterwards. Stormstormer, Midas is finished at a pretty good timing here. Has just fully rushed it out. 9 doesn't look like he's going to be able to use that Arcane Rune with his secondary Dragon form. Only got like 450 damage on the tower there. So pretty decent there for Stormstormer, hanging on to it. And looking at the net worth, sure, you see the DK has all those last hits, all those denies. The Midas, it's going to start kicking in. He's actually pretty much dead even with him.
Yeah, Stormstormer's going to be fine. At bottom.
Oh, I tried to get the toss.
They're not quite able to
Mid.
into the trees.
The arrow.
That's going to make the connection, and that'll set up for them to be able to bring Stormstormer down. And Dragon Form's out for 9. They can get some damage done to this tier 1 tower.
They can be very active with this lineup here from Tundra, with the 2 supports playing around the DK. Yeah, this tower, it's going to take a beating. They can probably drag the wave, too, and keep going for this pressure here.
Not a huge amount Entity could do about this. Fisher.
Fishman.
Into the arrow, trying to get 9 in range as well for a brief fire, and that'll do it.
Ooh, that's big.
Another kill to be found around this mid lane, and a heavy amount of damage done to this tier 1 tower. Just 8 minutes in, the tower's almost nearly gone. Stormstormer is TP'd in. He's got the back of a Katomi stepping over. Nature's Wrath comes in, but the Haunt's there. Skeeter moves in, look at what Stormstormer goes down. They lose
Watson.
both supports in return, Tundra, but Tundra's caused. They're ready to try and push on for more. Skeeter and 9 closing the gap on Watson. They'll get a hit in here from the Dragon. A bit of damage, but Watson, he's going to be okay. Gets underneath the tower. They'll get the toss back onto 9 under the tier 2. It does mean 9 gets the kill on Watson. I mean,
whoopsie.
What? Skeeter will be able to walk away. Yeah, in that sort of situation, are you glad that you tossed 9 back to get the kill, or does it kind of feel bad that you just set up 9 to be able to kill your carry?
I mean, who knows, really?
Yeah,
the supports are happy, that's for sure.
I guess,
Tommy's like, we'll take that XP. But yeah, couple big kills there, really, from Tundra, getting Stormstormer back to back. Tower does survive, though.
It does.
So all
Gets
that
low,
kind of
right?
chase stuff the craziness ensues, and I think Entity not too fussed because Tower does end up surviving.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, very. We said that this was hopefully going to be a bit more of an active game. We're definitely seeing that 7-5, even though there's a Spectre in the game. A lot of aggression coming out.
Yeah, no, good call from Skeeter to get involved then. Even if it was under the tier 1, knew that Tundra could try and push on for the kills. Yeah, taking down Stormstormer and take down Watson in that situation.
Nice arrow block.
Make sure that Toby doesn't take the arrow here. Dagger still comes in. Stroke's going to be off the mark, but Saxa able to close the gap, get some of the enchant totem slap. It's not enough from him, but Skeeter, one more hit. That'll do it. They'll take Toby down. They'll turn over towards Katomi. Katomi is able to finish off Saxa. And Skeeter and Snaking, they'll clean him up in return. A couple of kills for the Spectre.
That's big out for Tundra on the flip side here. Big moves. A nice arrow block on the initial go from Katomi, but either way, good persist coming out from the supports from Tundra. They're being so active. I mean, look at this. Snaking immediately going to connect toward mid. He's got Arcane Boots already finished up. Just really wanting to put that pressure onto the side of Entity. And it's definitely working. Less than a 1K lead when you're playing with the Spectre. Definitely already starting to feel pretty good for them.
And 9 is going to hit this very good timing. Pretty much a 10-minute blink dagger on the mid DK. So they're going to continue this pressure sort of Tundra. They're going to look to go, go, go.
They have great ways to hit those buildings, of course, too, right? The DK, that Death Prophet. They have frontline. They have good initiation. Yeah, this is one of the earlier blinks I think we're going to see on a Treads DK.
Oh, for sure. This is fast.
Yeah, catching a lot of these tiers. We did mention the little bit of struggle for Entity's lineup can be the fragility of their 3 cores and not having a 4 or 5 that really likes to play as that front line. So yeah, this blink, these catches could definitely come into play from Tundra in these next few moments.
I mean, if you're Entity, you know that 9's having such a good start. He's going to have this quick blink, and they're going to look for these sort of moves. What are you trying to do? Are you just trying to avoid these, or are you just trying to be hot on the TP responses to try and deal with Tundra jumping at your cores?
You've got to bring the numbers, really. You have to just be ready to bring more numbers, and you do have that option, of course. Sure. You have the Nature's
Like, you can't afford to let cores die to these moves. You've got to try and react.
Yeah, you do. And another one, Toby, he's going to get caught. The arrow.
They try to keep them off with the Tornado, but it's not enough.
They got to be there a little bit earlier. Like, I saw Stormstormer TP down, which was good, him being down there early, but Fishman was a bit late. And now that Fishman's down here afterwards, he's actually getting punched himself. They have to be prepared for these movements so that they have the numbers, so they don't just get surrounded. Blink DK,
they're playing fast. 9, he's in under the tower. The Familiar will be able to block the arrow coming in, so Stormer's going to be okay. Fisher still catches on to Fishman, and he gets burnt down by 9 with the Breathe Fire. And loose Snaking in return.
They're hitting 2 towers, though. Top, you see 33. Lane's empty. Pops Exorcism. Bottom's getting hit. Entity has to react to this. They can't lose towers like this.
It feels like it may already be just becoming a bit too much for them. Entity, they've got to try and find some way to slow down Tundra.
They will at least slow down bottom, but yeah, 33.
Top's gone.
Full tower. He's got mech done already. Very early timing.
Now we see the build up this game from Skeeter. He's going to be going for the Echo Saber into the Aghanims. The Echo's done.
Okay. Opting to not go for Blade Mail. That's kind of cool. I guess maybe feeling like he just was farming good enough to not actually have to go for that type of farming tool, but interesting. Usually, I think almost every game I've seen Skeeter play, he goes Blade Mail and farms Ancients with his team.
Okay. Maybe trying something a bit different here.
Yep.
And the Echo, of course, works very nicely as well on Spectre. Good stats and it's a bit of a punch when you isolate them with the Desolate. We'll see there with the odds provided to us from our partner, esportsbet.io. Very much favouring Tundra at this point of the game. The Action Entity, they'll be able to group together, take down the tier 1 in return. There's a smoke coming out from Tundra. They're going to try and see if they can swing up towards top. Maybe catch Watson off guard, but he's close to the tier 2 tower. This could be a difficult move.
Look at how quick they're playing, though. Like, they immediately smoke up.
I mean, Watson knows.
He knows.
They're off the map. He's kind of standing in a tricky position to jump.
They know he's there,
they're
though.
still going to jump him, though. Look at that. Under the tier 2, they don't care. 9's in. Gets the setup for the kill there. And my goodness, it feels like there's no safe spot to hide there. I mean, Watson, he was already trying to hide, but there was no hiding. They went in. They went under the tower. They were ready to find it.
Relentless aggression. I mean, immediately they put down that ward. They see him. It's like no hesitation. They go for the jump. And I think I'm seeing also why Skitter is going to go for that eggs when you're playing versus these fragile cores, right? This quick little shadow step that he's going to be able to use, get on top of all these fragile core heroes that Entity does have, it's going to cause problems. And it's going to come
absolutely
fast.
No, it's when you have a lineup that's playing as Tundra are. Toby stepped out in the mid. He will block the arrow. Still a lot of burst. They'll drop the Echo, and Toby's gone. Tundra is picking up the kills as they swing across the map. And yeah, just with the 4 heroes outside the Spectre, because of how many moves are being made, this Axe, you're going to get involved in so many kills potentially if Tundra can keep this momentum.
Absolutely. And it's also their lineup is going to have a really scary, dangerous amount of poke, right? You just fissure, an arrow, a breathe fire. Like, heroes might just die without you having to commit.
And there's another smoke here from Tundra. They're ready to go again.
This looks like the fastest I've seen Tundra play in a long time. Like, Watson, they're just going to get him again.
They know he's farming the Ancients here. 9. Well, there's the setup, and it's an easy kill. Skeeter even pops the horn to make sure he can get involved as well and check out the whereabouts of the rest of Entity. As Entity, and we'll try and chase down Tundra, chase them out of the triangle at least. The Moonlight Shadows pop. They're attempting to go on 9. Toss combo is going to mean that this Sunstrike does not connect. It's a 3-man Fisher. Entity taking quite a bit of damage here. They do get the telekinesis onto 9. Soul Assumption, as well as the Cold Snap, causing some problems.
He's still alive.
Steps over though, and 9. Avalanche, the tree toss finally gets zapped down by the Fade Bolt, but it's bought time for Tundra to bring 33 across. They'll get Fishman in return. Fisher catches onto Katomi. He finally gets another toss combo off, and that means that 33 does end up going down, and this Saxa also to fall as a failed attempt to TP out. Costs him his life, so Entity, that's the sort of response that we've been waiting to see for them. They will manage to take out 3. They needed this.
They did. They brought the number.
They had to slow him down.
Oh!
Easy kill.
All right. Snay is 9-4-5 this game, by the way.
Yeah, he's been everywhere. He's been everywhere and involved in nearly everything.
This is the Snaking Mirana from TI, where everybody was dreading to play against. He's had a bit of a struggle in this DPC where he has died a lot, but this time around this game, not the case whatsoever. He is really cruising. However, though, Entity, after that comeback from that overchase a little bit there from Tundra, things have stabilized for them nicely.
Yeah, they really needed that. Things were starting to get a bit out of hand, but we'll slow Tundra down a little bit.
How are these levels looking? Well, I think Snay is one of the higher levels. Yeah, Snay is level 10. He's the same level as the offlaners.
Skeeter, farming the Ancients. As you say, a bit tricky considering he doesn't have the Blade Millions build up. I'll have to get the salve out.
Thought somebody was maybe going to go tank it for him or something along those lines. Bottom, Snag. He's okay. He'll get that ward. Super rich.
Fine. Tried to get the jump on Toby there. Toby was prepared.
Blink now finished up on Stormstormer. Now he can actually look to get a bit more aggressive also. He's been a bit quiet this game. Hasn't really connected too much with those Sunstrikes. Now he can actually join with his team with Blink.
Kataomi.
He almost has one too.
He's going to have it done here.
This will be their timing to fight back and make their own aggressive moves rather than be responding to all of Tundra's.
Absolutely. Time to smoke up for Entity.
Yep.
Look to group around the tier 2 mid, maybe. TP's coming over.
They just have to watch how over-aggressive they do go, though, because they are playing into these farm supports, as we mentioned, on the side of Tundra. Saksa, he's level 10. He's got Shard. So there's a ton of poke and prod that is going to come out from Tundra. So Entity's initiations have to be clean.
With these Blink reveals, it will also be into both the Exorcism and Haunt coming back online. So a couple of things that Entity will have to be prepared to deal with.
Look at this invis down here.
They're going to get spotted out, so they will have... Okay, no, Katomi didn't quite have the Blink on him, so they didn't see that he has the Blink. Bottom lane, though, Fisher into the arrow. And the two of them have done it. Zaxa and Snaking, they'll easily take down the enemy mid. Goodbye, Stormstormer.
They didn't even need Echo. I mean, this is because Snaking's just so damn over-leveled. Level 11, 5 Mirana. That is pretty insane. Same level, actually almost higher level than the offlaners and almost the same farm as the offlaners.
I mean, it's same level as an Invoker with a Midas, you know.
Very true. Beastly performance from Snay.
He's out.
He gets away.
Sneaky.
Sneaky, snaky.
Sneaky.
He has, oh my God, he has drums, arcanes, force. He is massive. Really good force staff game too. Repositioning versus the repositioning is going to be excellent. And now with this kill, level 2 exorcisms online. This is not. I don't think Entity can contest this.
They've got to do something though.
They're going to try. It seems like they know it's up. Happening.
They spotted out. Look at the ward down here, right?
Okay.
See Skeeter heading in. They know for sure what's happening.
If they can get a huge like multi-hero avalanche into Meteor,
they've got to be quick though. I don't know if they're going to be able to be quick enough. They'll scout things out. Katomi is in with the jump. It's off the avalanche, but Katomi, he'll get taken down. Roshan to fall to the hands of Tundra. Skeeter's got the Aegis.
It was a risk to go for the contest anyway, but at least try a little
It was worth, Katomi has to make that jump. Yeah. And he was kind of close to being able to get away with it. On the side, they've managed to catch Stormstormer.
Oh boy, that ward.
Oh no, and his Midas.
No. It's been up for 10 seconds too.
Yep.
Oh no. Huge moments there for Tundra. Big moves, getting the Roche. And that was the moment where Entity, right, we were mentioning, they just got their Blink Daggers, the Tiny and the Invoker, Stormstormer. That's 4 deaths for him now. They are really bringing the hurt on.
They're catching it. There's, you know, these good few stuns. They've got great setup. Once you kind of connect with the setup, Entity's lineup, they don't really have the means to help someone that's getting gone upon.
No, they don't. I mean, they have the blink on Kotomi, so he can maybe go for those like toss back plays
tough
now, but it's difficult with the speed and the way that Tundra's just been playing around the map. Skitter, he's got his Ags now.
Yeah, of
so
course, yeah.
Even more aggression.
Yeah, and I believe, is that the Mage Slayer component's coming out on top of the... No, okay. He was thinking about upgrading the Oblivion to the Mage Slayer, but looks like he just wants to accelerate getting the Manta.
Yeah, sure, why not?
The Manta ASAP.
He looks like he will probably get pretty unkillable pretty soon in this game for the side of Entity. The way the Tundra's just been dictating pace, it's beautiful. 19-10. Did not expect when we had Entity versus Tundra with the Spectre in the game, 29 kills at this point.
They're playing fast. And maybe Entity didn't expect it.
Yeah.
Maybe getting hit by sort of an approach from Tundra that, you know, they wouldn't have necessarily anticipated from Tundra's previous performances. Skeeter in on the action. Both supports of Entity taken out again.
It's getting out of hand. They're getting just way too many of these kills. And Spectre with his core matchups, it's amazing. Him having this start too. Watson, he's still farming.
He's farmed, but can the Prophet carry against this?
Versus all these counters, all these
hard.
heroes that get in his face. It's, yeah, definitely not easy. And speaking of getting in their face, Saksa, he's got a Philosopher's Stone level 12. His blink is now done too. So another layer for Tundra to just gap close.
A lot of weight on Watson to do something crazy as the Prophets. We've seen Prophet single-handedly carry games before, but as you say, there's definitely tools on Tundra's lineup to punish a Prophet.
Yeah, it's usually these Nature's Prophets when they're able to, they have like better core-to-core matchups. His core matchup versus Spectre, it's one of the worst. Snaking is farming. I mean, they're just getting so much farm on the map.
Smoke from Entity. It feels like the first we've seen in a while. They've got to find something with it. Last time they went for a smoke, it was around that Roshan. They weren't able to get into in time.
There's a BKB coming out for the DK also right now.
Oh, it's a good avalanche. Onto the 2 of them. Snaking at 33, they'll fall. Excellent jump to start the fight. So take a look for Skitter. Skitter's actually been caught in the Sprout. He's able to make his way out of this. Saxon trying to keep him covered from the side. Jumps in with the Echo, but the Echo doesn't really catch on to much of Entity. It's Watson going out in return. Entity may be able to set up for a second attempt here on the respawn from the Aegis.
Slow and arrow.
It's perfectly timed there from Fishman. We'll see the jump from 9 onto the backlines, trying to help Skeeter out. Skeeter, he's able to get the horn off, jumping around all over the place. He does his best to try and dodging, but he can't keep it up. Still goes down. Stormstormer and Toby, can they deal with 9? I don't think they can, especially with another Fisher like that coming through from Saxa, as it's going to be Tundra getting the cleanup. Triple kill for 9. Everybody dead on Entity. There were some hopeful moments of that fight for Entity, but at the end of it all, their hopes, they get shut down again.
Good initial go, right? They blow up Snaking, they get those type of initiations. If there wasn't an Aegis, then that's probably Entity coming out ahead, but also 9. That was the moment when literally the BKB had just delivered on Courier. You see it like coming on the Courier here.
A great start.
Gets to him.
Excellent combo to burst through with the 2 of them, take Snaking and 33 out of the action. And yeah, as we saw, they're dealing with the Spectre twice, but just goes to show sort of the difficulty they're in right now, Entity. They're playing from behind, and even when they get a start like that to the fight, it's not quite enough.
Yeah, Watson just got deleted, right? I don't think he didn't get BKB off. I think that's what Saksa was mainly going for. It's that one-man Echo, but it's a very valuable one versus the one-position NP. And also, speaking of the NP, his Midas was down as well, too. His Midas was up when he died.
The efficiency. It's being lost.
Another jump.
And another kill.
So much
keep playing it fast, over double the kills now for Tundra.
It's so much chain stun, so much control. These supports are out of control, really. That's the biggest thing for Tundra, right? We talked about Snaking level 14. Now it's starting to be Saksa, who also is just absurdly farmed. He's level 14 with his Blink, with his Shard, on his way to 4-staff. They're huge.
Look at this, Watson. He better be hiding nice and deep here in the trees. I mean, you see it here. You know, you look at the number. The gold difference, not crazy, but 92%. You can feel it. A lot of that gold that the Entity have, it's on this Prophet, on Watson, and as we say, it's a difficult game for him to put his value into play.
And it's also, even though it says 5k gold league, you have to remember there's Midases on the enemy. So it's actually like, it feels like an even bigger one almost because of those. It's Toby.
Got the jump on him. Tornado not going to quite catch on to 9, but Watson's able to hold back 9 with the Sprout. Entity's still hovering around the area.
they're just continuing to play so aggressive. Just there's really no hesitation, no downtime from Tundra. Even though they do have some of these semi-long duration cooldowns on ults, it's the supports leading the charge with the DK, jumping in, just looking for these consecutive kills. And 9, he is going to be going down that kind of carry-style route of the DK2, going for that Ags. It's going to be very difficult to bring down. The physical damage coming out from Entity, it's going to take time. Their lineup takes time inside of these kills. They don't have as big as explosive damage that comes out from them in comparison to Tundra, unless we do see Stormstormer go some Aghanims, but he almost never does that route.
Oh, smoke time from Tundra. Toby is going to get caught. 9, straight in with the stun. Jump forward.
Oh, Katomi, he jumped in.
He tried to help him, tried to look for a toss back, but there was no one to toss back. As Toby goes down, Katomi's gone, Skeeter's ready to dive tier 2s, Fishman buys a bit of time with the telekinesis, but not enough.
And that's a gem.
And, oh, it was indeed. Gem hits the deck, Snake King picks it up.
And tier 2 now, the game, there's no space, there's no breathing room for Entity. Like, look, Stormstormer's farming almost as BKB, but they're already on the chase. Saksa, Skeeter, trying to find him. He will be aware of it and get back, but 9 is also set up for top. Like, look at this, they're set up everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, have they got anywhere to catapult? Yeah, they have. 1 second Shadow steps up.
No detection.
Okay, into the invis.
But at tier 2, they kill the heroes mid, take the tier 2, and at the same time, they're already setting up on those side lanes. They're playing this draft beautifully. It's just super fast paced, picking up these items so quick. Snaking boots the just absolutely massive on this Mirana. And Skeeter now has a Manta style.
Yep.
Very difficult for them to focus fire him.
We've seen already how quickly he just sort of destroys whoever he jumps on in the midst of the fight. Now adding the Manta on top of it's going to be so much more. I mean, yeah, that's your 15k net worth profit gone in a flash. That's why we're saying, you know, he's got all this money, but what does it matter when Tundra can kill you this easily? They've got the counters.
Stormstormer linking in aggressively.
Kataomi tries for the toss back, won't get it. Now looks at 33, but this man's got a BKB ready to press, and he's got Greaves in a few seconds ready to pop as well. Sax is in with a 2-man echo. Fishman run down by the siphons of 33. Kataomi also out of options here. Maybe the avalanche is going to be enough. Nah. Fish is back up. 3 dead again on Entity.
Jesus. Like they're just getting right on top of them. It's too fast. Sox is looking for more.
And Toby's going to try and fight this, but Skeeter's ready to jump in on top of him immediately. Toby's dead.
This is just impossible.
It really does feel like that.
No way to fight versus them. They're all just way too big, and they're everywhere. And in the meantime, too, Skeeter, he wasn't even in part of like most of this fight.
Just
he
jumping
was
in and out,
farming, jumping back and forth, looking for those cleanup kills. I have to give a lot of commendation to the supports really from Tundra. Them and DK, them and 9 have really just been making all the space in the world. 33 has been struggling a little this game. Honestly, if you look at his kill score, it feels like he's actually in a different game. 33 is 2-2 and 5.
Oh no!
Everybody else is part of like 30 kills or something.
Oh,
like that.
bless. Yeah, he's sort of separate from the others here. Wait, what? We've got Snake is involved in what? 26 kills. 9's been involved in 24 kills. Ski's involved in 23 kills. Sax is involved in 25 kills. 33 is involved in 7. Yeah, quite the difference. Yeah, he's you know, sometimes you just got to enjoy the win. Doesn't matter how much you're there for.
You know, I remember his interview the other day, right? He was kind of flaming his teammates. Maybe they're just getting it back at him a little bit this time around. No, they're really playing this to perfection. 9, level 19 Ags is done, just looking for more pickoffs already. Roche is up in 50 seconds. Skeeter's just going to go in.
Oh, he's going to go out as well. I don't think he wants to stick around for this one. There was a lot of them there. Just let's look at the Fishman. Fishman. Oh, it's a mini dragon.
He gets the fireball.
Oh no, don't kill the baby dragon. Oh, that's just bullying.
And Toby can't move.
Fisher. And dead.
And now Stormstormer also.
Well, about a little time here, Toby. But 9, he's kind of happy. He's going to be ready to jump up towards the base. Yeah, he's diving in. Under the tier 3s. Stormstormer pops the BKB. Trying to desperately get away. He'll live. Same can't be said for Kataomi and Toby.
33 runs in. He's like, guys, I'm here. I'm getting involved too. This is insane. 50 kills, 28 minutes in this game.
I don't think Entity were prepared for this sort of Tundra today. Tundra's just woken up and playing faster than ever before.
It's just violence. Right? They saw violence today, and it's working beautifully. Another tower drops. Roche, it's on the menu. they'll kill it and they'll just kill it so fast. Even without Exorcism, they've got the Manton Skitter.
Oh,
so.
Saxa. He knows Watson's working his way down this bottom lane.
Saxa is about to be level 18 also. Like, I just cannot wrap my head around how fast and how high level they are.
Meanwhile, Midas invoke a Stormstormer. He's still level 15.
Oh, yeah, this is absurd. Next objective, Roche.
I think you want a refund on this, but it's not working or something. Where's the XP?
It's been on cooldown a lot. Look, it's on cooldown right now.
Both of them.
Watson, he's got one.
Come on, use your Midas.
Are scanning.
But Stormstormer's just on
Stormstormer still
cooldown.
hasn't managed to.
Gonna scout the area. How long on Haunt? Haunt's not up, but Shadow Step, of course, at the ready. Echo ready. Snaking a bit low on mana. This could actually be pretty decent if they're... I mean, if he doesn't... they've got Greaves, so he'll actually get pumped up anyway.
Oh, it's just so terrifying just stepping out in the map here for Entity.
They have to stick
how-
S5.
And as you mentioned, at the start, one of the things about their Josh, who goes in and first and survives?
Nobody. As they're just charging in.
9. He's going to make the quick jump onto the quick kill first. Finds Fishman. And the rest of Entity, all they can do really is run. There'll be a buyback from Fishman. They're going to try and take some sort of trade in this fight, but not really any damage being done. The Meteor gets dropped. 33 is able to step out of the side. Stormstormer commits him with the BKB. They're trying to take down 33. Katsumi with the combo will allow him to finish the kill off. But 9's in with his own BKB. Elder Dragon form pop. The Sunstrike onto Skeeter, but he's still got plenty of HP to work with. Watson tempting to stand his ground. Will scare them back a little bit, but they'll just simply jump back over to Toby in the mid lane, pick up a third kill for Skeeter, triple kill, as Entity only getting 33.
They're too big. Everyone too farmed at this point on the side of Tundra. Yeah, they only have damage to really bring down one hero. Also, their spell's just not really connecting in the best fashion. Either the Meteor totally whiffs. They don't have great ways to control besides the Tiny. It's now Roche. Next thing on the docket, Skitter level 20.
Very close to having the full Skadi.
Versus triple range cores.
Yeah,
the dream Skadi game.
It's going to make the Prophets game even more miserable.
And speaking of lack of damage a bit in a way too, besides the Greaves that they had earlier from 33, Snaking now has a pipe on top of all the rest of the items he's gotten. This is one of the better support performances since TI I think I've seen Tundra have.
This is just an all-round stomp, really, from all members involved here on Tundra.
Stormstormer shows bottom for a second with a Meteor, has to be very careful. Feels like there's little to no breathing room now at this point on the side of Entity. Feels like, yeah, you just have to stick as 5, and it means you're just going to keep getting out-farmed when you already have that disadvantageous core-to-core matchup.
Shadows take us.
There's no way for them to take advantage of cooldowns, because it feels like they don't even need the cooldowns on Tundra. They're in.
Now Skitter's just makes the jump immediately. Also, we'll be able to turn with the Tornado EMP combo, but Toby's already gone. 9's ready to start hunting for more. As they'll push him up towards the triangle, Entity attempting to keep their distance, but 33 swinging in from the side with the Exorcism. Fishman to be taken out. Skeeter now godlike, double kill. They're ready for the cleanup. They're going to call it. GG's there. Tundra with a very flashy game 1 stomp here, folks.
The support's out of control, really. The speed, Snaking, and 33 and Snaking and Saxa were able to make with 9. That was insane.
Yeah, they just got to do nothing that game, Entity.
Like, I'm looking at 33 and his camera right now, like, talking and laughing. He's probably like, guys, I wasn't even like, what the? I'm part of like 8 kills. You guys are part of like 50. What the heck is going on in this game?
That was a wild game from the Tundra lads. They just ran them over.